Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedasi Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Uttarakhand, chapter number 35. Brahma frees Indra. Recitation begins now. The highly powerful Mahendra being thus defeated by Ravana's son, all the celestials, taking the patriarch Brahma before them, went to Lanka. Having obtained Ravana, encircled by his sons and brothers, the patriarch, stationed in the Vulcan, calmly said, "My son Ravana, I have been pleased with thy son in the conflict. Oh, what wonderful prowess, what strength equal or greater than thine! Thou hast by thy own prowess conquered the three worlds. Thy promise hath borne fruits. I have been pleased with you both, the father and son. O Ravana, this thy son is highly powerful and gifted with great strength, and he shall be celebrated in the world under the appellation of Indrajit, or the conqueror of Indra. And that Rakshasa shall be powerful and irrepressible, by whose help, O king, the celestials have been brought under thy subjection. Do thou therefore, O thou having long arms, release Mahendra, the chastiser of Pakar, and for setting him free, what do thou want from the celestials?" Thereupon the highly powerful Indrajit, the subduer of enemies, said, "If dost thou say so, O God, I pray for immortality." Thereat the highly powerful patriarch said to Meghanad, "There is none perfectly immortal on earth among the created beings, birds, quadrupeds, and other highly powerful beings." Hearing the words uttered by the grandfather, the highly powerful Meghanad said to the eternal Lord, "Hear then what I want in exchange for releasing Indra. May a chariot with horses rise up from fire when I shall offer sacrifices unto it, being desirous of vanquishing my enemies in the conflict. And may I be immortal as long as I shall remain on that car. And this is the boon I have resolved upon praying for. May I meet with destruction, O deity, whenever I shall engage in fight without finishing my offerings unto fire. All others, O God, attain to immortality by virtue of devout penances, but I shall acquire that by dint of my own prowess." Whereto the grandfather replied, saying, "So be it." Thereupon Meghanad released Indra, and the celestials returned to their own abode. In the interval, O Rama, Indra became poorly, divested of his immortal brilliance, stricken with anxiety and pensive. Beholding him in that light, the grandfather of the deity said, "O performer of 100 sacrifices, why didst thou formerly perpetrate that mighty iniquity? O chief of immortals, O Lord, some creatures were created by me by dint of my understanding. They were all of the same color, same speech, and same appearance. There was no difference visible in their appearance or marks. Thereupon, with whole-mindedness, I began to think of these created beings, and I created a female distinct from them. Collecting all those limbs that were most excellent among the created, I made a female under the name of Ahalya. Hal means ugliness. One born from Hal is called Halya. That female is known as Ahalya because she had nothing blamable in her. I gave her that name. Having created that female, I was thinking, O King of Celestials, O foremost of deities, on whom I should confer her. Being proud of dignity, O Sakra, O Lord, O Purandara, thou didst regard her in thy mind as thy spouse. I placed her under the care of the high-souled Gautama, and he rendered her back after many long years. Thereupon, considering the patience and accomplished asceticism of Gautama, I married her with him. And that virtuous soul, great ascetic, enjoyed her company. And for my thus conferring her upon Gautama, all the celestials were disappointed. But being enraged and possessed by lust, thou didst repair to the hermitage of the ascetic and see her resplendent like the flaming fire. Maddened with lust and ire, thou didst ravish her, and thou wast seen in that hermitage by the great ascetic. Thou wast then imprecated by him, enraged and gifted with great effulgence, saying, O Lord of celestials, thou hast attained to a change of circumstances, for which, O Vasava, thou hast fearlessly ravished my spouse. Thou shalt, therefore, O Sakra, go under the arms of the enemies in conflict. And this vile desire, O thou having a vicious intellect, which thou hast first created, shall undoubtedly spread in the world of mortals. Whoever shall commit this crime shall be half responsible for it, and the other half shall descend upon thee. And forsooth thy position shall not be permanent. And whoever shall be the Lord of the celestials shall not have his position secure. This is the curse I give, which I have communicated to thee. And having remonstrated with his wife, that one of devout penances said to her, O vicious one, let thy beauty be spoiled in the vicinity of the hermitage. Thou art gifted with beauty and youth, but thy mind is fickle, so thou shalt not continue as a single most beautiful damsel in the world. All created beings shall participate thy beauty. Thy matchless beauty has brought about this mischief. Henceforth all created beings were gifted with beauty. Thereupon she propitiated the ascetic Gautama, saying, O twice born one, I was unwittingly ravished by Indra, assuming thy form. I have not committed this willingly, O ascetic, so do thou be propitiated with me. Ahalya, having said this, Gautama said, In the race of Ikshvakus there will be born a highly effulgent and mighty car warrior, known in the world as Rāma. For performing the rites of a Brahmana, the mighty armed Vishnu, assuming a human form, shall repair to the forest. Thou shalt be purified when thou shalt behold him, O fair damsel. He shall purify thee from the iniquity perpetrated. Having treated him as a guest, when thou shalt come to me again, thou shalt live with me, O thou having a fair countenance. Having said this, the sage returned to his hermitage. And thenceforward the wife of that ascetic, chanting your names, engaged in severe austerities. Thou hast met with all this in consequence of the imprecation of that ascetic. Therefore, O thou having long arms, do thou think of thy vast iniquity. For that curse and nothing else, O Vasava, thou hast been brought under the grasp of enemies. Having controlled thy senses, thou shalt undertake a sacrifice in honor of Vishnu. Thou shalt be purified by that sacrifice and go to heaven. And thy son, O Lord of celestials, hath not been destroyed in the conflict. He hath been taken into the ocean by his grandfather. Hearing this, and having celebrated the sacrifice in honor of Vishnu, he again went to the region of celestials and regained there as a king. I have thus described to thee the strength of Indrajit. What to speak of others, he vanquished even Indra, the king of celestials. Hearing the words of Agastya, Rama, Lakshmana, the Vanaras and Rakshasas all said, Wonderful it is. And Vibhishna, who was by the side of Rama, said, After a long time, the old recollections have now come to my mind. Thereupon Rama said to Agastya, All thou hast said is true. And Agastya said, Rama, Ravana, the thorn of the people, then grew in power, by whom in the company of his son, Indra, the Lord of celestials, was defeated. Mangalam Koshalendraya Mahaniya Gunapte Chakravarti Dhanurjaya Sarva Bhaumaya Mangalam.